Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Market Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us for this segment, we have Daniel Solomita, founder and CEO of Nasdaq-listed Loop Industries, to discuss a shift towards sustainable PET plastic and polyester fiber and how it's an environmentally superior solution. Daniel, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Thank you so much, Jill. Thanks for having me.
You got it. And let's start with the plastics industry and the growing demand for recycled materials.
Yeah, there's a tremendous push right now to get more and more recycled content. Part of it is from governments. So government regulation around the world is changing, especially I'd say Europe is leading the way, where the European Union has kind of declared war on fossil fuel or petroleum-based plastics, putting in taxes on if you're buying petroleum-based plastics, you're paying taxes. Also, countries are putting in minimum recycled content into packaging. So you have to have, 25, 30 or 40% recycled content in the package if you want to sell it into that country. So the regulatory winds are really shifting and making a big change. And I think the brand owners as well, they feel it themselves that the consumers want more sustainability and the consumers want a solution. And so things are really opening up. When people talk about plastics, there's a lot of different types of plastics. So we see it a lot with now, rightly or wrongly, water bottles are kind of the symbol of pollution. I don't agree with water bottles being the symbol because there's so many other types of plastic that we don't think of that are just as polluting, if not more polluting. I think one of the biggest segments that's going to come probably closer as we get to 2030 is the fast fashion industry with clothing. So I don't think a lot of people have connected that our clothing are just as polluting as a water bottle, because at the end of the day, a polyester t-shirt or a water bottle is made with the same ingredients. And so that's the next one where companies like Nike and Lululemon, they're starting to really, look at more ways to become more sustainable.
That's interesting. I never would have put two and two together when you think about clothing and the polyester that goes into it. So it's a good question leading into what I want to learn about now. Just how big is the global waste problem? I would not have thought about clothes up until 30 seconds ago.
Yeah, the global waste, the waste, there's so many different categories of waste. So if we stick to PET and polyester fiber, which is what Loops provides a solution for, it's about an $80 billion a year industry. About 85 million metric ton per year industry, which is roughly about $180 billion a year. In sales, everything from water bottles, soda bottles, shampoo containers, and then polyester fiber for carpets and clothing. Out of that 85 million metric tons, about 66% is on the fiber side, 33% is on packaging.
And I understand that PET plastic and polyester fiber cannot be conventionally recycled. What does Loop do, and how does Loop's technology provide a sustainable solution?
Yeah, so really what we do is chemical recycling. So at the end of the day, PET plastic or polyester fiber are made with two petrochemical components. One is DMT, dimethyl terephthalate, which is a white powder, which starts off, it's made from crude oil. And then you have MEG, which is a clear oily liquid, and that's made from natural gas. So those two components, those two chemical components are fused together during polymerization to make PET plastic or polyester fiber. And then it's turned into either packaging or a fiber. And so what Loop does is we take the finished product. So we'll take an old carpet, an old sweater, or an old water bottle and break it down back into those two chemical components. We purify the chemical components back to their purest form. So we eliminate all colorings, additives, dyes, any type of impurities. And then once they're pure, we build them back up into a final product. That's the way I could take an old polyester running shoe and turn that into a water bottle for one of my customers. So it's really the next level of recycling because it adds the purification step to it.
So it sounds like the PET solution is environmentally superior to other solutions.
Yeah, definitely. So it's environmentally, if you take a facility, let's say a 70,000 ton facility, we have a savings of about 150 to 200,000 tons of carbon dioxide a year in savings doing it through Loop's technology. And you're completely eliminating the fossil fuels from plastics, which is what everybody wants. You need to have more recycled content. And so really closing the loop.
Right. And great name for the company, Closing the Loop. What's the global market opportunity for Loop?
I mean, for us, as we see sustainability, I don't think sustainability is going away. I think it's only going to become more and more of a factor, especially, like I said, in moving into other industries like the fiber industry with the fast fashion. So I think that eventually Loop's technology can be the leading polyester manufacturing technology in the world as we continue this shift towards the circular economy.
And finally, Daniel, at the end of the day, is it realistic to assume that we can possibly decarbonize the plastics industry on a meaningful scale?
I think that we're on the right track with technologies like ours. That makes a big step. The collection is going to be very important. So bringing in enough collection, making sure that all of this plastic, especially the fiber industry, that's going to be one of the biggest challenges. How do we get the collection system? Are people going to want to bring their old running shoes and their old t-shirts back to the stores? How are we going to collect all of these fibers? So once we're working on the collection side, the technology is there, and now we need the consumers to help on the collection side. So I think it's possible. It's going to take an effort from all parties in the supply chain, but we're definitely heading in the right direction.
All right, Daniel, we appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.
All right, thank you so much.